Well before the French and Indian War, the British Army relied on women with each company to provide labor vital to the health of the soldiers. Amidst the invasion of French Canada in 1759, women continued this service with British regulars as they advanced on Ticonderoga in late July. As important as soldiers' wives were to each company, General Jeffrey Amherst did not want an extensive train of other followers on campaign. As British regular regiments assembled in Albany for the campaign, Amherst made clear that only certain women were to follow the army, including in general orders on May 5, 1759, that no women to be permitted to go with the regiments or to follow. While this could be read as a prohibition against women within the British Army, it was actually part of a series of orders to reduce the number of women following each British regiment. Regimental orders for the 42nd Royal Highland Regiment broke down Amherst's general orders and specified which women could serve with the regiment. Their regimental orders on May 15, 1759, refined Amherst's orders stating, "The commanding officers of companies to give in the women's names they intend should receive the allowance for provision this campaign and are to recommend the first that came with the regiment from Europe, if they are willing to be nurses to the general hospital. When required, they are not to exceed 4 per company according to the general orders." For any of the women outside of these 4 per company, they were not allowed to follow the regiment and forcibly removed from the 42nd Regiment of Foot, with orders on May 18, 1759, stating that the quartermaster to see all the petty sutlers' tents in the rear or any other where about the regiment struck immediately, and if any woman whatsoever pretends to pitch a tent about after this near the regiment, the quartermaster is to order it to be struck and burnt directly. These orders gave preference to the Scottish women who originally followed the 42nd Regiment of Foot over to America. While in Scotland, these women were allowed to marry men within the regiment with the approval of the commanding officer of the company. Bennett Comperson described the criteria for a soldier's marriage in the 1768 edition of A System for the Complete Interior Management and Economy of the Army. Comperson explains in Chapter 24, Article 2, of the benefit of having a standing order for no non-commissioned officer, drummer, or private man to marry without the consent of the officer commanding the company he belongs to, which he should not grant on any account until he first has had a strict inquiry made into the morals of the woman, for whom the soldier proposes, and whether she is sufficiently known to be industrious and able to earn her bread. If these circumstances appear favorable, it will be right to give him leave, as honest, laborious women are rather useful in a company. These 4 women with each company were familiar with the workings of the British Army and the required jobs that they would have to do while on campaign. While other women were sent away from the British Army in 1759, veteran women who had served the longest within the regiment were essential for the successful invasion of Canada. This preference was specifically important when it came to the work of women as nurses in the General Hospital in 1759, as the regimental orders for the 42nd Royal Highland Regiment on May 15, 1759, specifically mentioned their willingness to be nurses. This practice was already a part of the British Army practice as a whole. In Chapter 10, Article 3, A System for the Complete Interior Management and Economy of the Army, Bennett Comperson stated an experienced, careful woman may be constantly employed to attend in the regimental hospital as a nurse, whose wages should be paid either by the surgeon, when he has the allowance for it, or from the savings of the sick men's pay. During the invasion of Canada, soldiers would inevitably get sick, hurt, or even wounded while fighting their French foe. Having available nurses built into the structure of every company was not just the smart thing to do, it was the reality of the situation. As far as the Army was concerned, the women allotted to each company filled critical positions to maintain within the Army. Whether it was nursing or the everyday task of laundry, these women, who married soldiers in the 42nd Regiment of Foot, were not viewed as troublesome followers, but as key to the service of their respective companies. Facing the threats of sickness, starvation, and captivity, these women endured the same hardships that the soldiers had to bear.